A very good morning to all. It is again a pleasure to welcome you all to the Knowledge 4.0 webinar series, which is one of the unique and distinct initiative of Chennai for Technology. Under Knowledge 4.0, we have been conducting webinars in different scenarios, and this webinar series is being unique and distinct by the expert whom we are calling to address in the wonderful forum. And this webinar series is being successful under the motivation of our management, especially from our Honorable Chairman P. Sriram, who is one of the well-known first-generation successful entrepreneur, Managing Director of MK Group of Companies. And today in the series, we have Mr. Bhaskar Raj, Senior Consultant from Kaizen Institute. It is our great pleasure to welcome him for this wonderful forum. We welcome you, sir.
Welcome. Good morning to all.
Good morning. And this webinar series is being continued in order to enhance the knowledge of faculty members, researchers, and student community. So, Chennai Institute of Technology was established in the year 2010 by our Honorable Chairman, Sri P. Sriram, and today our institute is being within top 10 among all other private engineering colleges in Tamil Nadu. Chennai Institute of Technology follows unique teaching learning process, which help us to place our students in core companies and help them to get seats in national and international reputed universities and help them to become an entrepreneur. So today, first of all, we'd like to congratulate all your wards, friends, those who have passed out and those who scored good marks in the plus 2 examination. So we also, on behalf of Chennai Institute of Technology, congratulate them and we would like to pray for their better future. And it is again my great pleasure to welcome you all to this wonderful forum. And now it is my immense pleasure to introduce today's expert, Mr. Bhaskar Raj sir. Sir is the Business Excellence Lead and Continual Improvement Specialist at Kaizen Institute, SAINT and AFAE. And he is passionate in building continual improvement culture, improving bottom line organization by own team in Kaizen way. And Sir has played a various role in different organizations. And first he was the senior manager plant engineering in Rane Engineering Valves Limited from February 2005 to 2007, and he was the DGM operation in Rane Engine Valves, then GM operations in Rane NSK, and he was the GM operation in Penna Industry Limited and head operations in Castam Automotive Chennai Private Limited, and now he is the senior consultant in Kaizen Institute, and it is our great pleasure to have a lecture from him. And I request the participant to have some takeaway from this excellent lecture. And I welcome you, sir, for this wonderful forum. And let me request you to share this session, sir.
Yeah. Good morning. Once again, welcome all. Thanks for the opportunity to given. Yeah, let me share my slide. Good morning, friends. Once again, welcome to this webinar. Once again, I thank CIT for this opportunity. And today's topic is 3 enemies of Operation Excellence. These are all the contents. I am going to introduce our Kaizen Institute, just not more than 3-4 minutes. Then let us understand before identifying our enemies, what is meant by excellent, what is VA and NVA, okay, so on. So introduction to Kaizen Institute. He is Mr. Sensei Masaki Imai. He is the founder of this organization. This is a worldwide organization, and he wrote renowned books, Kaizen and Gemba Kaizen. These are all very famous. I strongly recommend to go through these books. Gemba Kaizen will give you, if you go through that book, it will give a live relay of what's happening in every organization. As I said, we are present in almost all the parts of the globe. So our main services are in consulting, training and education. training and education means not regular curriculum. Training on various topics of lean, Kaizen, everything. So I am going to share one of the model which is being, consulted by us under the Kaizen business system. Okay, we have a one product called Kaizen change model. Here, basically, we align the respective organization goals. That will be the Kaizen strategy. To achieve that, we have 4 pillars. First pillar is the support Kaizen, which is nothing but building a strong organization infrastructure in the respective client's place. This is basically, this support Kaizen is the link between organization and Kaizen Institute. Okay, I'm not going to cover in detail, it will take more time. Okay, then of course, the daily Kaizen is nothing but building a culture in the organization by changing the Gemba behaviors. So it has got 4 steps. Okay, like we study in every semester. So first semester is see problems, second is solve problems, sustain improvements, and improve proactively. So when you come to this stage, you will become self-sufficient. You need not require any support like us. Another pillar is the breakthrough Kaizen. This is basically to identify the organization's top priorities, and by this 4 steps, we can approach this problem. This is basically, the team consists of CFT from different functions. The objective is to transform the business processes. Okay, the next one is the leader Kaizen. Okay, the leader Kaizen, where the top management participation will be there. So without top management, nothing can be achieved. I think you can appreciate that. The main objective is to develop leadership for managing the change. Here we will not focus the core competencies in their functional. We actually focus on lean related, Kaizen related competencies. Okay, and once by coaching them, so that they will know how to learn to change, they will lead the change, and they will control the change, they will direct the change. So this is a common KZM model which we follow for all type of industries. When you come to the next one, this is specifically for education institute. The same 5 elements, how we approach here. Again, for each and every institute, we will have a targets, and what are the current burning issues. Those burning issues, we form a team and we resolve that as the 4 steps which I explained in the previous slide. And again, we will coach the leaders how to see they have to walk the talk. So we will provide all the skills and behaviors required for the senior faculty and HODs. This is daily Kaizen, again, to sustain improvements, how we can develop even the frontline professors, teachers, supporting staff to change the behaviors and sustain the improvements. This is nothing but the same infrastructure what I have explained in the previous slide. So these are all our the different sectors and clients in India. You can see we are in all type of segments, whether right from automobile, engineering, the plastic, chemical, textile, public sector. Even we have done a lot of projects, a couple of projects through PM office also. Service sector, construction, FMG, hospitals. So before moving on to the identifying the 3 enemies, I would like to get feedback. What is meant by excellence? You can, quickly 15 seconds, you can write in the chat box. I think Mr. Dinagaran will help me what you have written, because I can see your chat box.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is your understanding about excellence? Because straight away, before introducing the villains of enemies, I want to understand what is excellence. What is your understanding about? Yeah,
participants can
understanding about excellence.
Yeah. You can.
Yeah.
Doing smart. Puneshwari Armuham had answered.
Okay.
Doing smartly.
Yeah. Close to the right answer. Okay.
And Karthik has said, being perfect or expecting perfection.
Okay. It's very difficult to define the perfection. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll move on. No problem. Okay.
Please,
Thank
sir.
you. Thanks for your participation.
Thank you.
See, excellence is a talent or quality which is unusually good and so surpass ordinary standards. See, excellence means we have been using this excellence in our daily walk of life, but sometimes we struggle, how to express the excellence. Okay. And also, this excellence is used as a standard of performance. You know that Sachin has scored so many centuries. Now, probably we expect Virat Kohli may break that record. So, our Sachin has set some standard, okay, which is excellence as of now. It cannot be there forever, right? Okay. Also, the studies have shown, and you also agree that Dravid and Sachin, they made lot of practices before the match, before the regular matches. So to achieve the excellence in respective field, I think practice is very much required. And excellence is not being the best; it is doing your best. Okay, and doing the right thing even when nobody is watching over your shoulder. That is also excellence. And excellence is the gradual result of always striving to do better. Okay. Also, see, the excellence is not the the firm destiny. Once you set some target, after achieving that, I think you have to revise your target. Usain Bolt, on his 100-meter race, he was breaking his own records. Okay. So, from Kaizen point of view, this is an operational excellence model. Okay. Let us say it starts from human reliability, zero error done by human, competency development, equipment reliability, again maintenance strategies, increase the MTBF. MTBF means the mean time between failure. Then design reliability, equipment standard, and minimize MTTR, mean time to reduce, mean time to repair. Sorry. Then process reliability, of course, operational parameters, process integrity. So this is one of the model for the operation excellence. Okay, I request once again our friends to answer what do you mean by VA and NVA. Please answer in chat box.
Yes, sir. Friends, you can post your answers.
Any answers? 20 seconds over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
Okay.
Mr. Karthik, does VA value ordered? Yes,
if we have identified VA, NVA is very easy.
Yeah. Yes. And
Yeah.
answered VA is value ordered and NVA is
right.
non-value
Excellent.
ordered.
Excellent. Yeah. See, if we do any work, any activity, it has got VA as well as NVA. See, you see, only the small percentage is really value added. So what is meant by value added? When the input is getting changed to its shape or property towards the direction of customer requirement. Okay. Also, the work must be done right first time, and also for which customer is willing to pay. If these three are not satisfied, any other activity, that is all non-value adding. Agree? So this blue portion it's not adding any value. Okay, any idea what will be the non-value added? Okay, I will answer that. I don't want to take much time. Especially in the Toyota book, they mentioned almost 87% of any process. It's, from input to output conversion, almost 87% is the NVA. Only 13% is the value added according to the Toyota factory. You know that one of the leading car manufacturing plant in Japan. Then we can consider in respect to industry, the percentage definitely will go up. See, if you see here, if you see any process from input, this is a customer request and this is their request fulfillment. That means raw material input, the finished product goes out here. All the red ones are all waste and all the green ones are all value added, which we have seen VA and VA. So if you remove all the red ones, your VA will be only this, so that your lead time will get reduced. And generally, total lead time in the value stream, as I said, these are all the portion of NVA and this is the value added. So traditional company focuses generally how to improve the value added. For example, in most of the industries we would have seen during crisis, sir, we need 10 more manpower to deliver this. Okay, without analyzing, we will just immediately sanction because of the customer pressure. Similarly, somebody will ask, sir, this equipment, bottleneck equipment to be added. We will add it. Okay, so that what I'm trying to say, by doing that, all these NVA remain constant or it will be aggravated. Okay, so this is the traditional way of approach. Whereas in the Kaizen approach, we will reduce the NVA instead of focusing value added. First, we will identify here what is the muda waste. Okay, that we will reduce it. Even in this, let us say 87% or 80%, if you reduce 50% of that, definitely your cost will improve. So again, to summarize, the value added are all customer willing to pay, and things which change physically or the property wise in case of chemical industries, the work must be done right first time. And example, this is the same thing I am repeating. For example, pressing, saturation, molding, lamination, which makes profit. Okay, these are all value added activities. Non-value added activities, any work carried out which is under current condition but does not increase the product value. Okay, we will see some examples. Excess inspection, rework, okay, more maintenance, right? These are all definitely will make a loss. So even there are pure waste. In that waste, there are pure waste and one more type waste I'll cover now. Pure waste is the activities and processes which are not bringing any value to anyone. These are all absolutely pure waste. There are necessary waste. In this type, it does not bring the direct value to the customer, but ensure that product service we deliver. Okay, example, safety testing, even some final inspection. Okay, these are all some necessary activities. Okay, so now we'll see traditional improvement versus Kaizen improvement. Partly I explained in the previous slide. So total lead time for the value stream is NVA plus value added. Then as I said, we will be focusing more how to improve in a conventional way to improve the value adding. But in a Kaizen approach, as I said, we will focus on how to reduce the muda. Again, I want to ask you, what are all the three enemies? I think we know some hidden enemies in our walk of life, even in family and relatives, even in our profession. We don't know our enemies, but after identifying the enemies, we will not even have a face-to-face dialogue with them. But whereas in industries or even any type of things, we know enemies are visible, but knowing the enemies, most of the time we are all ignorant. So I want to have a quick chat. People have any idea about our three enemies of operation excellence?
Yes, sir. Participants, you can post your answers. Sir,
Yeah.
Mr. Sandil Kumar answered this question.
Yes.
Muda, Muri, Mura.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. I think webinar is over. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So let me introduce first enemy, Muda. Muda is a Japanese word which is a waste. Okay. And by the way, any audience participants knows 7 types of Mudas? You can answer quickly if you know.
Expect, sir. And participant, you can answer the question for this question. Yes. Mr. Sandil Kumar, you can post your answer.
No problem. I will proceed.
Yes. Yes, sir. Please, you can, sir.
Yeah. So the first type of Muda is a transportation, moving here and there. Okay. So another one is inventory. We know that piling up of inventory right from raw material to finished goods, even in between work in progresses. Then motion. In the working station, when the value adder, that is operator, is keep on moving inside his workstation, that is also a waste. Then waiting for input from the previous operation or waiting for instruction. Okay, that is also another Muda. And overproduction, this used to happen. Okay, sir, after Pongal we can expect more absenteeism, so let us produce. Okay, that is also not right. Over processing, which is not required. Okay, see, probably we will be the simple example, even a few people, after locking our house, especially if you have a lock, we used to pull 2 times 3 times, not necessary. Okay, even in industry, repeated inspection, the same parameter is being inspected at different stages. That's all over processing. Finally, that is the defects, whichever is not first time right, scrap and rework. So how we can easily remember this? Tim Wood, TIMWOOD, Tim Wood, easy to remember. Now there is a 8th Muda also identified, unutilized human potential. That is also a waste. Okay. So let us see some thing about the mode of transportation. See, when the material is moved from one place to another. See, in some of the companies, let us say FG stock is more. Okay, they will keep it in the production area and they will move it here and there once till the FG stores is become vacant to move this shift. So what are the causes for transporting Muda? One of the reason is process layout and isolated lands. That is, production area maybe one area, and the distance between the raw material and production may be too high. Similarly, from production to FG, distance is too high. Then large batch size, that is also causes for transportation Muda. Then disorganized storage, workplace management. Then outsourced in-process activities. That is, for let us say in the machining industry, in between operation, it goes for a heat treatment outside. So there, obviously, it will lead to more WIP and leads to more transportation. So because of the thing, we know the labor cost of transporting material and cost of material handling, cost of fuel, cost of storage equipment, cost of damages during the transport. Okay. Now we are moving to the second type of MUDA, inventory. Okay, and again we will see what is the causes, needs of space. Okay, because of space constraint, you will have, then you really need search time for handling. Okay, needs storage, hides the problem. See, inventory generally hides the problem. Okay, then obsolescence also will be under the part of inventory. Then we need a, working capital is very, very vital. To control the working capital, definitely inventory plays a major part. And also we need manpower and admin during the stock taking. Some of the companies take monthly or weekly. Okay, even statutory requirement, it takes more time. See, you can see this picture. Okay, when the water level is high, all the problems are all hidden. Quality issues, lead time issues, set time issues, machine availability, absenteeism, everything will be covered if you have more inventory. So what we should do, if you reduce the stock, then one problem, the highest rock will surface out. We have to solve that problem. Like that, we have to keep on reduce the stocks and attack the problem one by one, so that we can reduce the inventory. Okay, see, by lowering the inventory, the lead time is getting hidden, so we can attack one by one. Another one is motion. As I said, this is the workstation. Person is taking from input, output. Input is here, he is working, then he is moving it here. So lot of motion within the workstation is a MUDA. So again, what are the causes? Poorly designed processes, no standard work, poor work area and layout. Okay, lack of FIS, and lack of communication also. Then how we can reduce the motions? Make motion safe and ergonomic, implement FIS, keep materials, tools at the point of use the principle of motion economy. Another one is MUDA of waiting. Okay, as I said, waiting for conversion, right? Again, the results of waiting is high operating cost, production flexibility is lost, your capacity is lost. Next is overproduction. Okay, overproduction, producing more than the customer requirement. Okay, the causes of overproduction mainly misuse of automation, just in case of thinking, local optimization versus overall optimization. Okay, as I said, heat treatment, sir, he will be on leave for next 2 days, so better we can produce more before heat treatment. Then low reliability of equipments, even because of equipment also overproduction will happen. Wrong forecast, this is also happening. Of course, this is with the customer, long setup time. So these are all the causes for overproduction. The results of overproduction, this is a multiplying effect of other MUDAs, damages to the materials. Okay, one point of time we are forced to sell at a discounted rates. Buy one, take one more. So buy one, take two free, or buy two, take another one free, like that. Additional space required for storages, more material handling, lack of visibility of true capacity of the process. See, you can see the overproduction is the mother of all other MUDAs. In the 7 type of MUDAs, the overproduction is the mother of all MUDAs. Overprocessing. See, overprocessing occurs when something is made or designed in such a way that we need more resources like space, energy, or people than the truly required. I think the picture is a good example. This is not the right tool to break this. The causes of overprocessing: unclear of customer requirements, lack of internal and external communication, complex design of product or processes, inadequate change management. Then MUDA of defects. Defect is any work that is less than the level of customer need. The causes of defects are lack of self inspection, low quality material, then inadequate training, no or wrong work instruction. So the results of defects, we know that additional material usage and productivity is getting affected, lost capacity, additional transportation, space for repairing, okay, space for quarantine material. So I'm going to, okay, you need not do the exercise. I think you can follow this at your respective workplace. This Kaizen exercise we call stand in circle exercise. This is devised by Ono. Okay, what he used to make is he make a small circle inside the Gemba. Gemba means workplace, and he'll ask the employee to just observe for hours. Okay, so he has been given only that job. He will just keep on observing that. Unless he identifies the problem, he will not be removed from that place. Okay, so there are 7 steps to identify that. So find a safe spot, okay, so that you can easily stand and observe. Write down for 30 minutes. I mean, you can observe for 30 minutes or 1 hour. At least minimum 30 mudas you can observe in 30 minutes. Okay, then review the findings of mudas with the team members. Okay, so that you can identify the actions, what is the root cause, you can do YY, okay, and share the findings, and you can horizontally deploy across the industry, across the plant. This is the template, very easy template. You can create it in Excel. Okay, just do the observations column, and you can have the 7 types of, so that you can make the observations and tick which type of Muda it is, so that you can categorize each type ways. Okay, now we are going to see the second enemy, Mura. Mura means it is the inconsistency, okay, unevenness, irregularity, inequality, non-uniformity. Happens only sometimes. Okay, happens to only some people, happens only some places. Then it is Mura. Okay, this we have seen. Mura means unevenness. Mura is the reason for existence of any 7 wastes. If 7 wastes are there, definitely the Mura will be there. In other words, Mura drives and leads to Muda. For example, in a manufacturing line, products need to pass through several workstations during assembly process. When the capacity of one station is greater than other stations, you can see the accumulation of waste in the form of overproduction and waiting, etc. So this is an example for Mura. Then again, what are the causes for Mura? Again, uneven customer demand, uneven production speeds, uneven quality of materials, irregular or erratic work rhythm, uneven skill of workers, uneven distribution of workload. These are all the causes of Mura. Now we are going to identify the third enemy, which is Muri. In Japanese term, it is called overburden and stress. This overburden or stress can be on people or even equipment, rather resources. Muri causes physical and mental strain among employees, leading to absenteeism, low productivity, low morale, even breakdown of the equipment. Okay, Muri means overburden beyond one's power, excessiveness, impossible or unreasonable. Muri can result from Mura, and in some cases caused by excessive removal of Muda from the process. Muri also exists when machines or operators are utilized for more than 100% capacity to complete the task or in a unsustainable way. Standardized work can help avoid Muri by designing the work processes to evenly distribute the workload and not overburden any particular employees or any equipment. So this is one picture. You can see Muri. The bus is being loaded with people more than its capacity. Okay. Again, Muri, I said experienced by human and experienced by equipments and tools. Causes of Muri for people. Long working hours. This, I think, most of our industrial people can appreciate. If they are operating 3 shifts, if the particular key skilled operator is not coming present for the second shift, then we are forced to extend the first shift operator to the second shift. Then meanwhile, we'll call the third shift operator to come early. I mean, I'm not saying something which is not happening. Okay. Then heavy physical lifting. So when there is no suitable material handling equipment, it leads to heavy physical lifting. Then unsuitable posture or ergonomics during normal work. I think this, in most of the workstations, this is being ignored. This is also another cause for Muri. Insufficient training. This is also one of the reasons. Then noisy workplace. You know that as per Industrial Act, there are few decibel levels recommended for different types of operations. For laboratories or R&D or even forge shop or machining, you have different noise level during daytime and night time. Okay, there are different standards available. Unusually hot or humid workplace, especially heat treatment area. Even in a normal area, if there is no cross ventilation, you will have this kind of Muri. Then pollution in the environment. Let us say heat treatment or even machining, heavy smoke or burr. Then 3D task, difficult, dangerous, dirty. Okay. So generally no Muri means equal to happier employee. If there is no Muri, happier employees will be happy to work. Even I have got feedback from some of my friends. Whenever you have equipment enclosed under AC, okay, CNC machines, etc., their absenteeism is very less. Whereas the normal area, the absenteeism is very high. Similarly, causes of Muri on machine tools. Not following the planned maintenance schedule. This will lead to equipment's forced deterioration. Using substandard spare parts, not using the genuine spares. We would have experienced in our own two-wheeler maintenance and four-wheeler maintenance also. Not using machines and tools as per standards. Okay. Suppose instead of using the right spanner, invariably people use, adjustable spanners. Safety point of view, that is not the right way to handle the equipment using that adjustable spanners. Then dust, dirt, and contamination also will lead to forced deterioration, which affects the reliability of the equipment. Then absence or inadequate lubrication also will lead to Muri. Then loose fittings, electrical connection also will lead to Muri. No Muri is equal to a perfect machine. So we have seen all the enemies. You could have seen why I am repeating this slide again. All these 3 enemies you can easily find in all the segments, including educational institution, including any type of. I think we have done a lot of projects on various industry and these segments. To give you one example, in hospitals, without affecting the performance of their expert work, we have worked with certain hospitals. We reduced the operation time. Okay, let us say Before Kaizen, it used to be 6 hours. Okay. After Kaizen, it used to be 4 hours without compromising the actual scope of work. We studied in detail along with their team. Okay. Here, basically, our approach, I would like to say, we won't only preach. See, we follow 80% practical oriented approach in Gemba, only 20% of theory. We train the team on this various Kaizen toolbox. They will implement everything. We will do the coaching and hand holding. See to that, they are not going, or are they using the right tool for the right issues. Like that, we guide them in the Kaizen journey. Okay. Similarly, even textile industries, garment industries, we have introduced single piece flow. Okay. Even chemical and pharma industries, we have, implemented SMEDs. They have their utilization, their cleaning time is much more, in their production process. Okay. So we also worked along with the team. We reduce the thing. Like that, we have done a lot of projects. That's why I added here. This slide, I was very impressed when one of my colleagues, shared this slide. I'm very much impressed. Most of the time, we don't fail because we don't know. We fail because we don't do what we know. Ra, he is a very motivational speaker, most of you are aware. So I was very much impressed with this slide. So most of the time, we don't fail because we don't know. We fail because we don't do what we know. It does not matter how much I have. What really matters is what I do with what I have. Okay, this is also from the same motivational speaker. And this is my email ID and mobile number, WhatsApp number. Feel free to send your queries or questions even after the Q&A. I am very open for it. This brings to end of my presentation. I think with available time, I hope I have given my best. Thank you.
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Sir, are you able to hear me? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presentation. And so I thank your organization also for providing permission to present a very excellent lecture in a wonderful forum like Knowledge 4.0 of Chennai Institute of Technology.
Yeah.
And let me look into the chat box for any questions.
Yeah.
So participants, you can post your questions if you are interested. And Mr. Punasekar and Dr. Kisan, you have been allowed to come in live, and you can have a live introduction with live interaction with the expert. So if you have proper connectivity, you can come into live for interaction. Sir, I think Sriramulu sir had asked one question.
Yeah.
What should be the standard VA or NVA ratio?
No standard. Ideally 100%. 100% VA.
Okay, sir.
It's very difficult, but we have to strive towards. And I just shared the different percentage. Even in Toyota, it is 87%. Let us not target for NVA target. I think let us improve. Let us identify what is the current VA percentage and we have to improve on. Overnight, we cannot improve. Okay. You know that, hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir. You can go ahead.
Okay, okay. Probably you are aware, you would have seen this Formula race car. Okay. The tire changeover time. Now, recently I've seen a video which is less than 2 seconds. In 1950, the tire change time was somewhere around close to 70 to 80 seconds. So from 1950 to 2019, it took so long for them, but they never given up. They've been continuously working and to reduce the setup changeover time from 70 odd seconds to 2 seconds. So this is one example. Definitely we can do. You just refer the last 2 slides before my question answer session. First, let us do what we know, what we have. Okay. Definitely we can improve from current X percentage to 2-fold or 3-fold, definitely.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
And another question asked by Arun Saravanan.
Yeah.
Is a stressful situation possible for employees during these days, sir? Yes, stress-free situation. Sorry, sir. Is a stress-free situation
Yeah.
possible for employees during this day?
See, okay, even though it is not related, addressed to this webinar, and the current situation, stress, I can give, most of the audience can understand Tamil, no? Okay, whether the questioner knows Tamil? Hello? Hello?
He knows Tamil, sir.
Okay. Have you seen the very old movie of Neer Kumuri, film by Balachandar, in which Nagesh used to explain the problem? Okay. Problem should be, let us say, problem is a stone. Okay. If you bring it closer to your eye, it will block the entire world. If you keep
Yes,
it
sir.
at a distance, okay, problem will be seen as a small stone. The
Yes,
same
sir.
way, the stressfulness is the interpretation of individual person. Okay, it is their own value system. It is self-belief of, you know, how they see the problem, how they see the world. Okay, in their eyes. It is, see, even for, if you see some people, you know that there are different examples. In a glass of water, if 50% is filled one, the positive, you know, person will say it is filled with 50%, and the negative person will say 50% is empty. And we know one very good sales example. One person was sent to abroad to assess the potential for selling shoes. So one person went and see and reported back saying that nobody is wearing shoes, so it's very difficult to wear. It is very difficult to sell shoes there. So the another person went there and he gave a report saying that nobody is wearing shoes, so there is high potential we can sell shoes. So like that, stressfulness is it's not a standard tool. It is purely the individual, how he interpret the situation, you know, and how he react and responds. I think the solution is he should do the meditation, and he should, instead of seeing the problem with the current situation, he should see himself how he can, you know, use this situation and convert as an opportunity. You know very well, most of the people or few people are doing online courses, learning new things. To be frank, even I have learned a lot of online webinar platforms during these 3 months. Okay, so it's all to cut short the answer. It's purely based on individual interpretation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Excellent, excellent answer.
Yes.
And sir, Mr. Rahul asked one question.
Yeah.
Sir, can we design a perfect system avoiding all wastage in prior, or it can be only done
Yeah.
on existing system based on lean manufacturing, lean observation?
See, Rahul, perfection. Can you define perfection? To answer your question, first of all, no. Kaizen Hill also says, you know, Kaizen never says it should be perfect. Suppose currently, let us say you are current in your process, like Sriram asked, what is my VA, how I can improve. let us say currently your value addition is, VA is only 30%, 70% are all waste. If you are moving from 30% VA to 35%, that is really a Kaizen. Okay. It's very difficult to build a perfect situation on first go, but definitely based on our learnings, whatever the problems we are encountering and the lessons learned, supposing let us say you have the current plans, you are going to set up a greenfield plant. So there, whatever the learnings from the other plants, those things you can implement in the green plant, so that whatever the problems, you need not reinvent the wheel. What are the problems you faced in the existing running plants, that you need not face it again. Okay, Rahul, I don't know whether it's...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It was nicely explained.
Yeah.
And Mr. Aravind, yes, sir. With this very... Sir, Mr. Rangaraj asked one question.
Yeah.
Sir, is there any digital or emerging technology to face these three enemies?
See, I'll tell you, any digital, again, it has to be interfaced with a human. Okay. Human brain cannot be replaced. Okay. Even for robotics, you need human brain to program it. Okay. Even to develop it. So these three waste is definitely, it has to be identified by the people. Now you can say how we can support. To give an example, by using digital media, we can coach the team how to identify these three enemies. That we can do. Because of the pandemic issue, we can't come to your Gemba, but now the digital technologies are available. Okay, so that there is I think we are also trying for some software kind of thing, augmented software, something which is under trial, premature stage. It's a German stage kind of thing, which almost replaces our Gemba visit. Definitely there is no replacement for the physical Gemba visit observation, but there are digitally technologies available. To answer your question, digital media can be a enabler. They may not be a main doer to accomplish or to kill these three enemies. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for coming and presenting an excellent session. So on behalf of Chennai Technology, it is our great pleasure to thank you for your lovely presentation. Yeah. And we would like to hear a lot from you, sir. Yeah. And if possible, we will have some other collaboration. We will have some other webinar in the forthcoming days. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before exiting, I want to tell you one thing. I have not got any approval, or there is no need to get approval from our institute, Kaizen Institute. We have been given free hand to conduct such events. Okay, so feel free. There are various specialists are available in various topics. Definitely, we love to do such kind of webinars. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We'll meet again, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Participants, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the participation. This Knowledge 4.0 webinar series is purely being conducted in order to only enhance the knowledge of faculty members, researchers, and students community. However, as an engineering institute, so we would like to convey that the admissions in Chennai Institute of Technologies are being open. So this year we have introduced artificial intelligence and data science, which is one of the emerging technology, and that is going to rule the world. So as we said earlier, Chennai Institute of Technology is always moving ahead with the society. So this webinar series is also being conducted as a social responsibility to enhance the knowledge of students community, faculty, and research community. So as it is, and we have introduced a new course called Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, and the admissions are being opened for AI and data science, mechanical engineering, computer science engineering, information technology, electrical and electronics engineering, electronics and communication engineering, and biomedical engineering. So those who are interested, you can approach us, or you can call or WhatsApp to the number 8939917000, or you can website, or you can visit our website chennai.technology.com, or you can visit our social media, FB, Instagram, and Twitter, and this one, LinkedIn. And thank you so much for your participation, and we would like to meet you in tomorrow's webinar. Thank you.